Yeah, yeah.
Hello you, it's interrogation lamp in FaceTime again, courtesy of Villordsutch this time. Um, he's given me 10 random questions to answer, so yeah, lamp in face seems to be the best way to do it, even though I am absolutely cowing sweating. Um, he's done 10 random questions to Bazzer H as well, and in Villordsutch's and Bazzer's videos kind of couldn't come to an agreement as to whether it's best to keep the answers on your phone or on a bit of paper. And I thought, well, bit of paper, we're not that retro, are we? And I was thinking, retro? Now, how about
Please select a category.
um,
You have selected bread and butter.
okay,
Please select a question.
um,
An easy one to start,
okay.
roast beef or roast lamb.
Ooh, roast beef. Nothing wrong with roast lamb apart from I find it a bit greasy, but roast beef, yeah. Had a nice brisket last week, very nice. I cooked it. I put it in the slow cooker. I've not done a roast in the slow cooker before, and cooked it for about 18 hours. And amazingly, it wasn't a disaster. It was really, really nice. And brisket's not an expensive joint either. It was about yay big, and really, really good and beefy. Well worth doing. It was a good dry run before Christmas roast coming up soon, so I've got to get cracking on that. And I haven't done a roast for a while, and yeah, that was very satisfactory. Next question.
Please select a question. Can you still remember your worst booze-induced hangover?
Oh yes, I can. Yeah, it involved gin and Long Island iced teas, and well, way back in the midst of time when I'd just come out of uni and I started my first job as a poorly paid contractor. Contracting agency took us out for Christmas meal at Break for the Border, I think it was, in London, and everyone, there were these pictures of lager. There we go, have some lager, have some lager. Never been a lager drinker, but okay then, we'll have some lager. Oh, cheers to that. And then miraculously through the night, after about 4 or 5 pitchers of beer, they magically turned into pitchers of Long Island iced tea, which was very drinkable. And I was in not a great state at that point. So much so that I actually ventured onto the dance floor with no, don't do dance floors, not with normal music playing, no. Only weirdos music for me. Normal music, no. So yeah, I was in quite a bad way to start with, and came back from the dance floor really, really hot and sweaty, and there were some glasses of iced water on the table. Oh yes, please. So I just grabbed one and took a nice big gulp and went, ooh, gin, gin and tonic. No. That was very, very bad. We staggered back to the flat of girlfriend of housemate, girlfriend of workmate, who said we were okay to crash there because she was in London, we were outside London. Crashed there, and then workmate drove us from there back home in the morning at about 7, 8 a.m. through London. I was crashed out on my back on the back seat, like just not very well at all is the understatement. Just lying there, just seeing the buildings go past through the top of the window, just not really able to do it. How he was able to drive, I don't know. I was too old to be able to say to him, "You probably shouldn't be driving, should you?" He wasn't as bad as me. I could barely walk. I think I might have been throwing up blood in the night. It was just, it was terrible. I fortunately had a few days off work booked in advance because I thought it might be bad, and I was right. I had a 2-day hangover. The second day I managed to get out the house and went up to the shop to get some lemonade and chicken soup. And so I can't remember, was it on Friday night and I had Saturday and Sunday and then I had Monday off as well? It might have been a 3-day hangover, because there were people who came to work the day after that, and everyone was like a zombie apparently. But I at least had the sense to give myself an extra day. But yeah, I don't think I've quite drunk anything quite like that much since, with damn good reason. There we go. Another topic.
Please select a category.
Yeah. Go with.
You have selected fun and games.
Oh, that was fun and games. Okay.
Please select a question. What's your 8-bit machine of choice, and in 6 words, why?
Wow, it's got to be Commodore 64. Because it was my first love. There are lots of others, and I do like a Speccy, and I do like an Amiga, and I do like lots of others, but the Commodore 64, it's like your very first teddy bear, isn't it? It's like, yeah, I mean, I had some grandstand multi-game version Pong machine with Kevin Keegan on the box before that, but that was just another, that wasn't anything amazing. We played it a lot when we had it, and I did enjoy it, but it wasn't quite the revelation the Commodore 64 was. That was, this is a proper computer, whereas that was just a toy. And not that I used the Commodore 64 for anything other than playing stuff. I never learned to program or do anything practical with it. But yeah, the grandstand was just a toy, and the Commodore 64, yeah, that's my first love. So there we go.
Please select a question. When it comes to buying modern games, do you stand in the midnight queues, or do you scour the pre-owned shelves?
Well, I would say scouring the shelves every time, but I have been known to. I've done the midnight store opening for Sun for copies of COD and Modern Warfare, whichever one of those shooty bang bang ones. Absolutely had to have it, and it's his birthday around the same time as the release. So, but he was too young to be going out at midnight but old enough to have the game. Yeah, so I've been to Game Station. I think it was a couple of times at midnight to pick up shooty bang bang games that really didn't interest me, and stand there in a crowd with other people going, "Oh yeah, I'd really like the last version." I'm going, right, there we go, that's nice. So generally, 98% of the time I am going to be trawling the shops looking for bargain version or second-hand copy of. I'll be looking for through second-hand games generally, and go, ooh, and they go, ooh, God of War 2 for 50p. Have I got God of War 2? I don't remember. I think I have. I'm not sure. I'll leave it. That's generally how my shopping trips go. But then other times I will be very, very silly, and I did get. I'm not sure where the camera is here now. I did get Fallout 4 on day of release because I had to have this. And to be honest, it's still going for about the same price as I paid for it, and I've still been playing it. Well, since day of release, and that's well over a year now, and I still haven't completed it because I've been ignoring the Brotherhood of Steel, and I've just been doing all the side missions that I can, and haven't even started on any DLC. So stupidly expensive it may have been, but I think it was well worth it because it's pretty much the only game I've been playing. Well, it's the only modern game I've been playing all year, and yeah, I mean, I don't have a phone that fits properly in the display bit, so that's on display in the living room with all the other Fallout bits, and I've still got my lunch tin from Fallout 3 that I use to actually carry my lunch. I do like a bit of Fallout. There's something about the post-apocalyptic landscape that is preferable to current life. It's a bit weird that, I know, but there we go. But, yeah, I've not painted it or modded it or done anything to it. It's still kind of stock. But I just liked it, and it makes you happy. That's the main thing, isn't it? And it's got lots of little dials that you turn that do nothing, sadly. They just make clicky noise. Oh, hang on, where was the... oh, there we go. It lights up. It was a bit disappointing in that it doesn't... I'd want the dials to actually do something for them to actually maybe connect via Bluetooth to do something to the phone you've got connected, but it doesn't. But not complaining. It's a very nice Pip-Boy with a display stand and a huge case and all sorts of other bits and pieces. So yeah, that's my one thing that I've gone, yeah, okay, I did do that, but it wasn't a midnight showing. It might have been day one release and stupidly expensive, but that was my one treat last year for when it came to modern gaming, and I haven't bought a modern game since, I don't think. Anyway, yeah, you were asking about midnight gaming. No, not since needing to pick up copies of COD for son for his birthday. Next.
Please select a question.
Oh yeah.
What's your go-to game on your favorite machine? Retro or otherwise?
Retro or otherwise. Well, otherwise, Fallout. I've been playing, like I said, I've been playing it all year, and I'm still finding stuff in it. I'm about level... Oh god, I'm not thinking that zoom. What was that? Susan the Banshee's Kaleidoscope. Okay. I've been playing it all year. I'm about level 65 or something now, and I still haven't done the main mission because I've just been doing all the side missions and still discovering stuff in it. So that's my go-to modern game. I was thinking about this beforehand and thinking, well, when I go, ooh, game, what game pops to mind when I think video game? Bubble Bobble pops to mind. I get Bub and Bob going, like, yay, happiness. That's a game and a half, that is. So if I think arcade sort of style game, if I think arcade game, the neon visuals of that pop into my head. If I just think sort of, ooh, I need a happy game, Beam Rider is a sort of nice midway point between the two, sort of happy retro and neon frantic shooting, that sort of thing. So Bubble Bobble, Beam Rider, Tempest 2000, if I can choose more than one, and Fallout 4 for modern. Next.
Please select a category.
Oh, we're doing a new category. Go with that.
You have selected Inside and Out.
Yes, I did, didn't I?
Please
right.
select a question. Outdoor gardening or indoor plant keeping?
Indoor plant keeping. Plants die with me. They forget to water them and stuff, and we end up with dead plants on the windowsill. Outdoors plants grow fine without my help, and in fact they need my help to be hacked back to stop the place turning into a jungle of brambles and nettles and everything outside. So I don't particularly enjoy that either. Did build some raised beds once and tried to put some veg out, and anything that grew the slugs had, and well, wasn't even much of that, and then the brambles took them over again. So I tend to stick to animals, really. I'm definitely more an animal fauna over flora, shall we say, because animals can tell you when they're hungry and thirsty, generally. Maybe they don't say, I'm hungry and thirsty, but they'll go, bah, 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 or meow, and the like, you know, and they will come and pester you, whereas plants just tend to sit there and wither. So, so neither really. Although, if I must, I suppose it would be outdoor gardening because of the amount of time I spend outside with a billock hacking down bloody brambles. Yeah, don't generally mow the lawn because then we let the chickens out and they'll keep it down. But when you got ducks, we found that they ripped up all the grass. So we ended up looking at the Somme outside. So probably this year, let's say this year, probably next year, I'll probably have to start. Can't talk. Mowing the lawn again, won't I? Oh well. Chin chin. What next?
Please select a category.
Another category. Let's go with...
You have selected Weird and Wired.
Weird and Wired.
Please select a question.
Yes, let's select a question.
What brought you to the universe of YouTubing?
Ooh, same as everyone else, I think. Illness. Some would say mental illness, wouldn't they? That brings you to this sort of thing, but it wasn't far off, to be honest. I was off work ill with what turned out to be epididymitis, which basically felt like being kicked in the nuts on a regular basis. And by regular, I mean on a good time it was about once an hour. So it was just really not good. Sometimes just repeatedly, a couple of times. I kind of blotted it from my mind now because it was absolutely horrific. I was on a fair few fairly strong painkillers. I was on tramadol for a while, and then that does not lead to a, it's not conducive to a good night's sleep, shall we say. And I was up half the night, and it completely knocked my body clock out of whack. So I was all over the bloody shop, and I was there at like 3 a.m. in the morning. You can't really do a great deal else. You're feeling like crap, and I was like, well, I got bored with modern gaming at the time, and I still had consoles and things under the TV, but they'd kind of been gathering dust, and so I went back to, because I had a chipped Xbox, I started playing Commodore 64 stuff on that, to kind of rekindle my gaming mojo, shall we say. Kind of inspired by Steve Benway and Minsky and a few other, I can't remember who it was back then now, it's been a good few years now, isn't it? To just go, no, solid, camera, point at screen, good enough. You don't have to worry about capture cards and getting stuff perfect. There's plenty of other people doing that. There's only one of you and your memories and what you think of games, and so I kind of did that. It was more for, well, partly to give back to the community, should we say, for all the videos that I'd watched while absolutely whacked out of my head on tramadol and the like, and also to try and keep myself sane, to stop myself going up the walls, and like I said, to rekindle my interest in gaming, because just modern games have just bored the tits off me for I don't know how long, and it kind of worked in a sense, in that I'm back on Commodore 64 and Spectrum and Amiga and all of that sort of stuff, and modern games, with the exception of Fallout 4 there, it's just, although that Last Guardian looks quite nice, I'm quite tempted by that one, but generally modern gaming, like modern popular music and things like that, just not for me, so I'll stick with what I know, thanks. Yeah, I think that probably covers it. I was ill, as a lot of us seem to be. We're all balding middle-aged men with beards, aren't we? And we're all hitting that age where we all start falling apart and feeling ill, and we go, I want my games again, and doing that. So, there we go. Next question.
Please select a question. Which do you prefer the most? Retro rambling or 10 credit chumping?
Well, tea or coffee. It depends at the time, really. They're easier. One's easier than the other in different ways. Depends if I've got the time to fanny around on my laptop in main finding a game that works on that gives continues. And if I can find the time, the setups are different, because one I'm doing on a laptop and one I'm doing camera pointed at TV screen here. Depends whether I've got time to spend 20 minutes loading up a game, or if I've either or really. Which do you prefer? I do like going back to the old arcade games, but then I do also like going back to my original cassettes and going, yes. Should we say retro rambling, because it's the more genuine thing, isn't it? If I actually had a room of arcade machines, genuine arcade machines filled with all these machines, although it would need to be like the grubby old arcade that I used to go to near school as well to be genuinely, but never know, might have something like that coming up at some point. Spoilers. But yeah, for now, let's say the genuine article of retro rambling. I know you get better film quality on the chumps, but not necessarily about the film quality, is it? Next question.
Please select a question. Speaking of 10 credit chump, have you ever been 2 credits in and thought, this is bollocks, I wish I could ditch it now?
Yeah, a couple of times, like the ones with where we couldn't continue. I think Star Force possibly got a bit overlong of just Star Force, Road Fighter. I'm not going to go back to Road Fighter. I cocked up the sound on that one. I was like, oh, it took me so long to get all that, and then I found out the sound was all awful. Time Pilot I kind of enjoyed regardless. I mean, at least Road Fighter you could do 2 credits and each time, but Time Fighter I kind of enjoyed regardless. Star Force got a bit to me. I don't know how other people feel about having the same levels shown to them over and over again for 10 credits. But it's something I'm trying to bear in mind. I'm trying to only choose games that continue. But then it is also the ones that I remember from that arcade. So, but yeah, a couple of times it has felt a bit sort of like, why did I make it 10? Why didn't I make it 5 credit jump? But there we go. Could be last question now, I think.
Please select a question.
Last question.
How did you come about your YouTube name?
After I left uni, when we all had our names assigned to us on the system, it was like, all right, my first dial-up modem. What am I going to call myself? And well, it was the mid-90s. Cyberpunk was still cool in my mind, but I was aware of some people going, oh, it's a bit past it, and I've been doodling in Photoshop and been fiddling with lighting effects and textures, and got a punk with sort of bluish grey lighting effects that looked very Geiger-esque, and it just popped into my head. Geigerpunk, electro Geigerpunk he was actually, and I just thought, ooh, Geigerpunk, there we go, Geigerpunk, like cyberpunk, but not a cyberpunk because that's old hat now. Geigerpunk, yay, that's both goth and punk and cyber, and that'll do. And so that's been mid-90s, oh my giddy aunt. That's been a few decades now, even though it doesn't really make a great deal of sense now, because I'm not particularly Geiger-esque, as you can see, and I don't look particularly punky. But yeah, it's the name I've had for decades now, so there we go. Yeah, I think that's 10 questions now, isn't it? So I've now got to think of 10 random questions to give to Mr. Steve Benway. Hello, sir. And yeah, so I'll love you and leave you. Thanks for watching. Ta-ta.
Thank you.
Ta-ta.